Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Rome in a Day. As in, Rome was not built in a day, which people say as a desperate way to make people be patient.
And it always works.
I think you should say the Karate Kid didn't learn karate in a montage.
Yeah, but that's a mouthful.
It is, but it's more relatable to people.
But he did learn it in a montage.
Yeah, he did, but not really. Here's the thing. This game has no theme at all. Everything we just said so far is more theme than in this entire game.
Karate Kid.
This game is a I split, you choose, and you split and I choose, and everyone splits and everyone chooses. A game where you're splitting up some tiles and then putting them in front of you. It is a very simple, small game. I'll show you. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 20 tiles with their coat of arms on them. You'll be shuffling these, putting them into a pile. You'll also get 4 gems, 2 cards, a large and a small card, a card which helps you determine which order you're playing in each round, and then a random city card. You'll take that city card and you'll fill it with the color buildings that it shows on it. You're going to be playing this game over the course of 4 rounds, and so what you'll do each round is you are going to be drawing 5 tiles from your pile. The very first 2 tiles will have these buildings placed on them. You are then going to, at the same time as all the other players, put up your shield, and you're going to be splitting these into 2 groups secretly. You can do 3 and 2, you can do 4 and 1, I can do 3 and 2, you could even do 5 and 0 if you want. Whichever group is smaller, because there's 5 tiles, there'll always be a smaller group, you'll put one of your gems with it. Once everyone's done doing this, you'll reveal them all to each other. You'll then pick secretly, again, based on this card and which direction you're looking at, you're going to look at your neighbor and you're going to be taking either their small group or their large group. Everyone's going to do that simultaneously. So let's say I take their small group, and their small group happened to have 2, and there was no buildings on them and a gem. So I get the gem. I get to keep my own gem since the person took my big group from me. And now I put these out. The first tile you can put anywhere you want. After that, you put them out. But you need to leave a building on the tile that it's on. So if I take this later on, I would need to leave this red one on this. And you're slowly building a group in front of you. You'll do this over 4 rounds. After 4 rounds, you're going to score. First of all, gems are going to score. And there's a little chart here on the bottom of this card. You can see that having 8 gems, which means you always chose the smaller group, and the person picking from you always chose the smaller group, you get 31 points. 0 gems, 0 points. And then each building is going to score. So if a building is either on its color, so let's say there was a red building here, or adjacent to its color, you'll score a point for each one it's next to. So in this case, this red building is on and it's adjacent to a group of red tiles here. So this red building is going to score 2. This one's going to score 1, 2, 3. This yellow building scores nothing because it's not next to it, although I might put it here, and now it's getting 2 points. So you'll score for all of these. There's a little score pad, so you know to add each of the different colors together, plus your gem total, and whoever has the most points is the winner. So this game is precariously close to what I would call filler. Everything I said there sounded negative. I didn't mean that to be negative.
I would 100% call this a filler.
Yeah, I would have no qualm saying this is quite a filler game.
It takes like what, 15, 20 minutes?
It really does.
Yeah, that's the definition of a filler to me.
You know what? You know why I guess what it is? It's because the box is bigger.
Okay, sure.
Right?
It doesn't fit in your pocket.
And it doesn't look like one. You put out all these pieces, and there's buildings, which, by the way, great buildings.
Oh my goodness.
They are cool.
They're clearly laser cut, very well made. There's like some details on them that when I first opened the bag, I thought, oh, some of these are going to be broken. And none were.
No.
They're surprisingly well made.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, the theme isn't there, but there's a lot going on. But then you teach the rules, and you're like, this is how stuff scores. You can put tiles anywhere you want. You can split stuff anyhow you want. So it's easy to teach, easy to play, quick quick to play, yeah, I guess that meets all the definitions of a filler.
I think so. Yeah.
Precariously close.
So my question is it good, though? I tend to automatically like the I Split You Choose. It would have to really ruin a game for me not to like it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just an interesting aspect, right? Take this. I like that there's 5 tiles, right? So you can't make it even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you're trying to make it even. You're trying to give your opponent as little as you can because you know who's picking from you. Mm-hmm. And you can see what their lands are out there. And you can see, well, you can see what will give them points. But you also know what you want. So you're trying to pick that combo there.
When I read in the rules, it said you can technically split your tiles 5 on one side and a gem in the other. I thought, that's odd. Why would that ever happen? And I got precariously close. I did a 4-in-1 split one time because I know that someone wanted that one piece and the one gem. And I was just laughing, thinking, I'm going to get all these 4 tiles. And then I was surprised. But I still got a really good tile and a gem. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I love the I Split You Choose in this game. I also love that it's simultaneous with all people at the table doing it.
See, I'm a sucker for not the I Split You Choose, but instead that tile-lating city building where you're trying to get the most, like squeeze the most points out of all the possibilities. I really enjoy that. And so, and
yeah, but there's dozens of games that do that.
I know.
That's not good enough for this game to survive.
But, I agree that's not good enough for it to survive. But that's my thing, is I always like those kind of games, no matter what.
Yeah, but don't you find this one to be sort of obvious? I think the putting the stuff in the city, there's nothing to that. You just put it in. A red building goes next to red. Sometimes you're like, oh, this slides in here, but I don't find that. I look at it and go, I messed up. No, I'm perfect in my tile placement in this game.
It pretty much always works unless you surround something.
There's moments where you're like, oh, my greens are up here, my reds are down here. Someone gives me a green tile with a red building on it.
But again, that comes back to that comes back to how things are set up in it.
Oh yeah.
The tile weighing is nothing. It's just a scoring mechanism.
I know, but that's what makes me interested in the game. And then it's the scoring mechanism and the I Split You Choose that makes it an interesting game.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So what brought me in is not what kept me.
I see. That makes a lot of sense because I was going to say you could argue that one of the faults of the game is the tiling part is so basic. Is so basic. Exactly. Yeah. But I love that about it actually because
I was going to agree on that. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to have to do an I Split You Choose puzzle and then go into a difficult puzzle about spatialness because that now the way that the game is, I can look at your kingdom or your Romedom or whatever and be like, Tom wants these, he doesn't want those. It makes it so easy to then inform the splitting and choosing part.
I think that's the thing, is it's very easy to value what everything is worth in this game. And so it doesn't make it really long. It doesn't make it this deep, super thinky game of like, oh my goodness, if I do this, then I can do this and this. But if they take this one, then I have to do this and this. It's not that. It keeps it at that filler weight because you can quickly value. You can say, okay, I need reds, Chris needs greens. Let's make my red building over here, my green building over here, and I'm going to give myself everything that I possibly want and a little bit of what he wants.
There's a lot of these games out nowadays of the I Split You Choose. There's one called The Great Split, which also was simultaneous. I Split You Choose. This one's smoother than that game, actually. I think it's interesting you mentioned the 4-1. I think everyone, when they play this game, will always do 3-2 their first game. And you're like, when you see how well gems score at the end of the game. Because that's not a minor thing. You'd be like, I don't care about gems. You should care a little.
Yes.
Don't let someone get a lot of them. That's more points. If you let someone get a lot, it's more points than probably your biggest group of cities.
Yeah. I would argue, though, that I wouldn't do anything other than a 3-2 the first couple rounds.
Oh, sure.
Because you want it to be as equal as possible. It's once someone's gotten a few gems that you're like, ooh, now you really want this.
Yeah, my first one, 5 or 0, Chris. Is this a trap? I would even go as far to say, I'm going to trigger Wendy a bit here, that there's another very popular game that came out recently, and they don't have anything to do with each other other than they're both city tile-laying games, Acropolis. And I'd play this 10 times over Acropolis. Well, actually, I could play it 10 times during the game of Acropolis. It's not actually, Acropolis isn't that long.
It's not long.
But Acropolis feels longer and clunkier, and this feels smooth and easy and fun.
Interesting.
But that is the only comparisons. They're very different games other than that.
I was like the tile laying, and that one is much more interesting.
That one is a tile laying. This one is a split choose game first.
With a hint of tile laying?
Yeah, it's got that little hint
Yeah.
of flavor.
So, actually, it sounds like I'm raving about this game. I'm not really. I like it a lot. I'm giving it a 7.5. It's a solid, good game, down the middle. I enjoy it. I just don't know how many times I would play it over the course of a year. I would play it. Usually, hey, bring it. I enjoy it, and it's fun. I think it's the I split you choose. And when it's done, it's kind of like eating a couple potato chips. They were delicious. I don't need to eat the whole bag. I would play it twice in a row. In fact, I did. Boom, boom, play it 1, 2. And then I move on to something else. And that's good. We need games like that in existence. So it's fun for me, straight down there.
Okay, I'm going to give this an 8. I really like that you can value things very easily because I'm one of those people that I struggle adding value to things and trying to read other people. And I feel like this is easy, but it's also not too easy. It's not like, oh, I automatically know what I'm going to play and do. It's a fun little mind decision trip, but it's not too complicated. I like the filler weight. Our daughter loves it, which makes me happy that it's something that we can play with her, and I don't feel like she extends the game all that much. So, an 8 for me.
I sound like I'm raving about it, but I am. I'm giving this a 9.
Wow.
This fits in a niche that I really enjoy. Games kind of like King Domino, like smaller box. They're precariously close to being a filler, or they are a filler. Whatever, like whatever realm it sits in, I love that realm. I think that's the I Split You Choose is almost more simple in this game than in a lot of other ones in the genre, and yet it's still, like Wendy said, it's not transparent, it's not obvious. You're still going, oh boy, I don't know what's going to be the best way to gamble this split here, and I always find it really. I find I'm really invested in it the whole time. It plays also fantastic at 2, which I find refreshing because you're just going back and forth with one other person, but you're then just always in that person's head, which I really like. It plays well all the way up to 5 because it's simultaneous. You're only worrying about your 2 neighbors.
It could probably play 6. They just didn't want to put those pieces in the box.
Yeah, I think that you could play roughly any number of players. Get a second copy, play with 10. I'm not going to stop you.
Get 8 copies, play with, I'm not doing that math.
40.
Really?
It's not hard. You just multiply the number of players.
I don't know how many
times-
players are in there. I guess it would be 5 because you said 6.
I really like this one a lot. I'm giving it a 9.
Alrighty, well, there you go, folks. That's Rome in a Day. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Build your city.
Theme.